Hi, Om. How are you? Welcome to another episode of Soul Brothers. We usually have my co host Simon here, but for whatever reason, it seems like his internet has cut out, and that's totally fine because we have a very special guest today. First, before we begin, I know this is a little bit weird because we were just on the stream with Simon just a second ago. Om, how are you?
I know. Great to be here, really. And it's always amazing to see you. And
Yeah,
yeah, can't wait for Simon to hop in very, very soon. I saw him just
yeah.
now. So come back, Simon. We
We're
need
doing
you.
this live, and honestly, even if we don't have Simon, totally fine. Because he is back, and we will bring him on in just a second. Just give him a second to get himself all calibrated. But first, of course, we have SNS live here on Soul Brothers. We have some comments in the section as well. So in Soul We Trust. That's all. Om the boss. Om is indeed the boss. Purge
Hi,
says.
influencers.
That is a clean domain. I agree. It is a very clean domain. And
I
Purge
have to
says,
tell you,
first,
he's the
yeah.
big boss, right? He's the big boss. Our community is our big boss. So
Oh, your
that's a big
community
boss.
is your big boss.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. So I think Simon is just about ready. Simon, give me a thumbs up when you're ready to come. He needs a little bit more time. No problem. And so I think the best place to start is actually just a little bit of color. How did we meet? I think the first time
Oh,
we had met we had met once, I
that's
think,
so
in was it Solana Summit in KL? But then the first time that we really talked was in Hong Kong. For We were at a Monkey DAO
the
lunch, I
month
believe.
out. It was like the big, what is it? Like a big dim sum place.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
Out event. Jamie was across the table, and then
Yeah,
like,
right.
oh, yeah. So how I got to sit with you is just so amazing. I mean, I've been your fan. Like, I know who you are, of course. So, as a fanboy, I kind of like, oh, I get to sit with and then like you were so kind. Like, I was just like sitting down. You were there a bit earlier than I was, and I was just like, here, like, have you got this? Like, what is it? Like a hagao, like all these things. You keep putting things on my plate.
What I remember actually is that you started speaking to Yvonne first. So
Oh,
Yvonne is yeah, obviously my wife. But like, yeah, you and Yvonne were sitting together and talking a little bit, and I think I was minding my own business, and then suddenly you said the magic words, and the magic words were Chiang Mai, and I
Chiang
was
Mai.
like, suddenly, yeah. So all
And
right,
then yeah,
Simon,
it goes from there. Yeah, Simon, you
yeah.
here?
Oh,
Oh,
he is
he's
back.
here.
Hey there,
Hi,
brother.
Simon. Hi, Ken.
Welcome to Soul Brothers, where it's out. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry for sorry for jumping out. I literally I just put my phone on ice because it
Literally.
crashed. Like it overheats
Your
because I'm
phone
using my
overheated?
hotspot right now. Yeah,
Oh.
I'm using my
I
hotspot
see.
right now, but I want to make this work, so we're gonna make it work. Welcome home to Soul Brothers. Sorry for late join.
That's the builder
But yeah,
mentality. Do whatever it takes, right? You make it work eventually. So we're
I hope
glad you're
so.
here.
Wait,
I hope this is gonna
Simon,
work.
just
Yeah,
one more time for the audience. Could you
yeah.
explain the phone situation and why you're on a hotspot? Like, just explain what's going on here. A little context for people.
So I'm tuning in right now from the south of France, the beautiful Riviera. It's very pretty outside, but the Wi-Fi is slow as fuck. So I'm sitting here and I tried the Wi-Fi earlier, it didn't work. So now I put my hotspot on, I bought some data on my phone, and it's working really well until we started live streaming. And then my phone was getting very hot and it just crashed down. So now I'm sitting here and I put it on ice. So I have a phone on ice. And let's hope that the ice is not melting too quickly. So we should get started, guys. We should get started with Om. Welcome to Soul Brothers, Om. Good to have you here. And obviously, for everyone who's tuning in right now as well, Soul Brothers is sponsored by Jupiter and SNS as well. So we have a strategic partnership, and we're super happy about that because we love to work with Solana builders that are here for the long term, that have the genuine belief in the ecosystem, and that also build exciting products. And SNS is part of that. And today we have the CEO of SNS on the pod. Om is here. Om, does anyone know your actual name in crypto? Like your first name? Because Om is not your full name, isn't it?
Almost my nickname actually, but like trust me, it's much easier like to go by Om. Like my real name is
Yeah.
too long, and yeah, Om is perfect. It's
Am
actually
I
like in my like family, my friends, like everyone call me right? So it's really something personal that like I think it's best to portray like myself and everyone's know me as all.
That's
It's
actually
true.
one thing that I learned about Thai people. Like I've had plenty of Thai friends growing up, and they always had nicknames. It's always like a 1 or 2 syllable nickname, like Mook, for example, right? Or Cha. And what I realized when I lived in Chiang Mai for a year is that everybody in Thailand has a nickname. Nobody uses their full name. They always use like the single or the 2 syllable one. And so like and then right before you joined, Simon, we were talking a little bit about how we first met, and I would also love to hear, like, have you met Om in person, IRL?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, of course, right? Well, I mean, like, so, like, I had met Om before, but like, we had really started talking at Monkey DAO lunch in Hong Kong, and
Cool.
like, she was talking to Yvonne, but then she said the magic words, which was Chiang Mai, and that's where I
Yeah.
lived in Thailand, and that's Om's hometown. So I was like, wait,
That's so
what?
cool.
Yeah. And so like, yeah, I think we've had chemistry ever since, and we've been talking. So it's really good to have you on the pod, Om.
It's really great to be here as well. And like one of the great things that I get to do this year, right? Like highlight is like getting to see you guys in real life event as well. I think
Yeah.
I think in April, right? I get to see Simon in simultaneously in multiple countries in like
Yeah.
Solana events but in very many different countries. Like we met in Dubai and then we met again at Crossroad.
New York, probably.
Yeah. So like
all over the
Solana
world.
is really everywhere, and it's always great to see like you get to hang out and get to know each other more. One of the highlights, though, I want to share this like so much, right?
Yes.
Like I was really sick like during Crossroad, and that day like had to be on stage, and then like I was like, oh wow, like after my talk, I was just like, okay, I almost collapsed, right? I was like kind of rushing back to the hotel, but I met Eno along the way before I actually rushed out and say like, hey, how are you? Like you don't look well. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not feeling well, And then suddenly Eno said, wait here, okay? Wait here for just a few minutes. Trust me, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. So okay, I just waited. He came back with this like, okay, like people in crypto love drops, right? Like be it airdrops, be it other drops. But came back with the best drops ever. It's what is it? You
It's like Korean vitamins, and when I say Korean, it's like it's it's like like vitamin D, vitamin B. It's like stuff that's like very good for when you have a cold. Vitamin C as well. So it's like a really popular kind of like immunity shot that we take in Korea now. So I know for a fact, based on experience, you drink it and it's like meth. I don't know what it is, but like it gives you energy and like you just feel like better. I don't know how to describe, but it's just vitamins. I promise.
It's like meth.
I don't know what it is. I didn't know what it was, right? Like, okay, give it to me. So like, I just took it, but really, it did magic. Like, I felt a lot better. I felt like, wow, somehow energy was back. So maybe that's like, is that your secret recipe? Every time we see.
No, I don't actually at the conferences. I usually take them in the beginning of my day because like I know I'll be shaking a lot of hands, and I don't mind hanging out with lots of people. But like as you guys know, like people are sick at the conferences all the time, and so it's not like anything malicious, but like the germs kind of spread around, and so like and I do wash my hands as much as possible. But if you could, like get an immunity boost.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Someone said, telling a lady that she's not looking well is to be expected. Very rude, man.
That's sarcastic. I hope it's sarcastic.
I hope it's sarcastic. Well, I mean, like, I think what I asked was like, "Are you okay?" And then you said you were sick.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, sorry about that. But yeah, I think we got you feeling a little bit better. Yeah.
That saved me. So yeah, I owe a lot to like.
But I think before we jump right into SNS, like we'd really love to get to know you more as a person. And the thing that kind of surprised me a bit was, I mean, there's a lot of things about your bio that surprised me, but you actually spent quite a lot of time on the East Coast, which makes sense, like why you would be wearing that Boston cap, right? So like, could you tell people?
Other reasons.
There are other. Why are you wearing a Boston cap?
Well, okay, because it's like it's from a Dotso holder who I really respect, and he's very successful. I want you to guess who that is, okay? I can show you. His signature is here. Signature is here. Can you see?
I can't
We
see
can't
cannot-
see it.
Okay.
It's two. Is it two names?
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Name. It's Boston. So a crypto company that first located in Boston. Let me give you a hint.
Oh man, I'm feeling like such an idiot right now. First crypto company based in
Stablecoin.
Boston?
Stablecoin.
Circle?
Stable.
Jeremy Allaire?
Oh, Jeremy
Jeremy
Allaire.
Allaire?
He gave me
Oh,
this.
Jeremy
yeah.
Allaire.
Yes.
Hell yeah. I thought it was gonna be like some Solana builder, like some dude like us. It's like, oh, Jeremy Allaire.
Jeremy
All
Allaire.
right.
So it's like
Yeah.
I love this hat. It's like a full cycle for me. So also related
That's
to my
crazy.
background. Like I met him when I was in TradeFi. Really, I was working with like a bank and also looking into like digital asset as well. During that time, of course, Jeremy wants like USDC everywhere, right? Including Thailand. He came over, hosted a dinner together, and then it was a really great experience, great time. That was way before I came to SNS.
Yeah.
And then he's I always listen to his like podcast, and he's always been my idol. But now like with SNS, and you see if you go to Jeremy Allaire's Twitter, he has .so up there, right, on his profile. So he has it. He has it up there. And like with the success of Circle, with the contribution that he does to the crypto industry, he's always been my idol, right? So this hat like means a lot to me. And like I think like with whatever we want to build, like also like create this community for .so, we see a lot of builders, Jeremy himself, like other builders within the community, they're everywhere, right? Like, so this is like something that I really grateful, like that I get to be here. I get to serve everyone in the community, and I think it's the best job to be ever, because like every day I get to work for the community. Like we have, I think, Inso We Trust here in the audience, right? Like he just sent me like one of the sweetest thing. By the way, thank you so much. Like you really made my day. Like this past weekend, like he's personal message in the DM, like I want to let you know, I shared with everyone in the team. You really like feel our energy to keep going, keep building. So it's really like all this community, like all this history is kind of like a full cycle, right? Like getting to work with the real project, creating real utility, and get to interact with the community every day. It's been amazing so far.
Right. I mean, like in your background in I mean, like you love working with the community, but it's like you have like a really diverse background from what we can tell, right? And so like if I'm not mistaken, you actually got a full ride to Wharton, right? Like a full scholarship to Wharton. So you like that's crazy. I mean, like like so you got your MBA.
No, like finance, right? I did my CFA, I got my MBA from Wharton, and then like that's where I actually first got into crypto. It was through the Wharton FinTech Club. So I think it was like a school trip to New York. I think back in 2016, 17, around that time. And then we went to visit like blockchain.com. During the time they have like the head office, and then I remember going in, there was a screen showing the real live like transaction of Bitcoin, right? Like, and then the guy next to me was just like, hey, you want some Bitcoin? Like just out of the wallet, I transfer some to you. So that's really like my first like touch of the crypto. After that, coming back, I got to work on digital asset policy. So coming up with regulations around like digital assets here in Thailand, we have everything established since like 2018. So all the regulations related to exchange, broker, dealer. So it was really fun. And after that, I transferred into like the other side, like the private side of things, got to work with banks, like exchanges, also custodian. And after that, founded like a project related to identity and came over to SNS. It's been quite a ride, I would say, but amazing.
No. You're speed running through this too quickly. It's like like you went to Wharton and then you worked at the Thai SEC. So that's what she's referring to. It's like she literally worked at the Thai, equivalent of the. I mean, not the equivalent. It literally is the Securities and Exchange Commission in Thailand. And you didn't have a short career there. You actually kind of. It seems like that's where you built your initial career, right? Was like more on the regulatory side. And you were there for over 9 years. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true.
So
but then I got to learn a lot.
Yeah. So I mean, like if you were there for over 9 years, that means that you got to be there from ground zero when, the government was starting to see crypto and thinking about how to regulate it, right?
Yeah, from the very very beginning of that thinking, right? At that time, I think it was just two countries that were looking into this. It was Switzerland and Japan, and a lot of research like has to be done, right? Like before you can actually come up with any policy, you need to know what it is first. So that got me into the first ICO. It was 2017, and then like the ICO craze was happening, and then yeah, of course you have to go like buy ETH, invest ICO, doing all those things, just to learn more. And then yeah, it came about, and I guess like all this career in crypto just started from there.
And could you tell us a little bit more about like what it was like at that time? Like what was the appetite at the Thai regulator? Like how were they looking at crypto? Like this is a very unique insight I think most people don't have into like how a regulator actually. I'm not trying to get you in trouble, so like we don't need all the tea, but would love to just know like what is it like to work for one of the. I mean, because Thailand now is a haven for crypto, right? And it's because of the work that you guys did to make sure that there was a very clear framework for not only businesses but also like individuals who want to participate, right? So like what was the thinking at the time and like how did it evolve? Like I'm just like super curious about the story.
Yeah, the thing is of it during that time is that hey, this is like something really new, but like eventually, like I think that's the belief that like it will grow, right? Eventually, it could bring like seismic change to the capital market, right? Like I think I still remember it's like a board meeting where we try to present like, oh, what is cryptocurrency? What is digital asset? And then the question that came out is like, of course, like from a more conservative side of things, people ask like, okay, how are we going to prevent this? Or how are we going to close this, right? Probably like, imagine that like back in 2017, it's not as well adopted as of now, right? So yeah, there's a question like that. But then like, I think people were, there were really also a discussion whereby they realized if they want people to have nothing to do with this, it's like closing down the internet and closing down like all the electricity and infrastructure that is already exists. There's no way, right? So that there were like three ways of thinking during that time. Like first, you do nothing. That's also a decision. Like do nothing, just monitor for now, and also like wait and see, right? Which is like the approach that most countries take. Second, like you do something, which is meaning like you could ban it, right? But what does it mean by a ban? It's not really effective anyway. Like you can write anything on the paper, but whether you can do it is another story, right?
Yeah,
And the
enforcement.
third way
Yeah.
is that like, you really like look into this, you learn this, and see like how can you also protect your investors and also like allow them to explore these new vehicles, like investment vehicles, right? Like without like banning outright. So eventually, I mean, like there are many approaches during that time that multiple countries take, right? Like most of it you can see on the camp of like, okay, it's not big enough yet. Let's wait and see how it goes, right? Like people who actually go into this, oh, they do it at their own risk. Let's keep it for that. But for Thailand, we took the third approach, which is we're trying to really study it and really look into it and see what way that we can basically draw some lines, right? Like there are some protections for investors that are newbies, new to this market. There's a way for you to actually educate them into learning more about cryptocurrency. And also there's a way for business provider. Back at that time, there was an exchange called BX, which is one of the leading one. But after the start of regulation, I think they closed out, and there are some new players that are coming up, getting the license, like BitCup, like Bitasa, for example. They're like number one, number two right now. So and more coming after the regulation is clear, right? So the approach was that if we make it clear enough, right, like for people who are good people, like who want to do real business, not taking advantage of investors, and there are measures of protection that can be imposed, right? At the same time, like people who come in, they don't have to come in the blind, meaning like there's some light, right? Like if something happened, there's at least some measures that are taking care of them, for example. That could be better. So that was the approach that we were thinking. I would say it was not perfect, right? Like looking back, there were many things that like we could have done better. But I mean, if we know then, what we know now. I think the approach might be different in a multiple ways, right? But I would say it's not finished. You can see multiple countries, right? Like the US right now try to push for the stablecoin regulation, for example. I mean, things are evolving and then people are learning at the same time. But I'm very glad to see that more of this is coming. Like Solana, for example, has been super active in getting involved with the policy side. Recently, they have like the policy task force, right? Like set up. We met them as well, like in DC, in New York, for example. They're based in DC, so their job is really to educate, right? Like the policymakers. More about what is cryptocurrency, what is Solana, and I think only then, like that, the two will kind of converge. Only then that the real utility and real impacts can happen. It's not like, hey, like I'm too cool to talk to you, right? Like I'm DGen and I'm not gonna talk to you. And the policy side is like, hey, like you too like innovative, like we have all these things to stick to. It's putting them on the same room and having the real discussion. I think that only then that innovation can progress and move forward. So I'm really happy to see how like this thing evolve. But of course it takes time, right? It doesn't happen in like a few days. Yeah.
I mean, speaking of education, you also worked, you were a co-founder of something called, I believe, Thai Finlit. So like you also have had, a past of trying to educate so you went from like working at the regulator and trying to make sure that you keep customers and businesses safe, right? And then like you trust me, you look at your resume, it's you've done quite a few things, but you've also been in more of the education space, right? So it seems like you're also deeply passionate about making sure that your community or the people that you care about like understand what's going on, the decisions that they're making, financial or otherwise.
Yeah, it's truly my passion. Also because like I also made some mistake along the way, right? Like who hasn't in crypto? Like I lost some coins before. All those crazy stupid mistake that could be preventable. So yeah, if what I'm sharing is helpful, I think I'm very glad, and I can see that from .so communities, right? Like the things that they share, for example, how they use .so in real life. Some of them like actually came up to me on how like .so saved them from like scammers, right? Like like these days they're very good. Like for example, if you send like some crypto to maybe another wallet of yours, you might see another wallet that send in the funds, for example, with the first 5 letter of the wallet address and the last 5 letter wallet address exactly the same as yours. So it's really easy to make a mistake, especially if you want to ape into something really fast, right? So how that .so holder like using it is that he used .so with the subdomain. So I don't know if any of you out there have used this feature before. So let's say I own .so, right? And I have multiple wallets. So I can mark my wallet as like I can mark like wallet A.on.so or wallet B.on.so. So next time I send, instead of like tracing a really long string of wallet address, I can just type this subdomain, right? Like that everything like under on.so, but then categorize it, right? And that kind of saved me from like sending it to wrong address, for example. And that's exactly what that .so holder shared with me about how he's using his .so to help save himself from scam. And yeah, when you hear stories like that, you just really want to keep going and want to keep improving your product to bring more utility for your users. Yeah.
Sure. And I think one of the bigger questions that Simon and I were talking about before this podcast is, okay, so you've had this very diverse career, right? Like, why did you take the opportunity at SNS? Like, we're happy to have you, but like, it's a very different business from what you've done before. But I'm sure it's a culmination of all the experience that you have, leading up to this moment, right? And like, you started about, if I'm not mistaken, in November of last year.
Yeah.
So it's been like 8-9 months since you've been here. So would just love to understand like what excited you about working over at SNS, and like why did you take this opportunity? Like just walk us through that.
Yeah, of course. I think like since stepping in as CEO last November, it's been really a full speed. And I really want to say that the best part is it's really just getting started. It's been amazing, like working with a team. So when I was approached to come into the team as the CEO, like I look at this project, right? it's really like solving the real problem like that we all have, and it hasn't really been solved fully. I mean, like Simon knows this very well. That problem is around identity, right? And I mean, how I see this is that like .so is one of the key that could have a chance, right? It's a very, very difficult problem. I wouldn't say we will solve it for sure, like 100%. Like many like really like genius, like very intelligent people like trying to solve this, like Soko himself like also tried to solve this before, right? But I don't think like we all like reach the point where we can say that, hey, it's solved yet. But I think like it's a very important like within the internet world today, the digital world today, especially in the age of AI that's coming. You don't know what's like real, not real anymore. And identity for human like is super, super crucial and super important. So it's a very first of all, this project has a very, very interesting like problem, right? Like that we can work on and keep building to actually try to crack or attend to solving it, right? That's number one. Number two is that it has a really, really amazing product market fit proven already. So SNS actually started along with Solana. We started very, very early on, one of the very, very first project within the ecosystem. Actually received the grant like from Solana Foundation in the beginning. We've been building through the bull, through the bear, right? The worst bear ever in 2022. Still surviving. It has a great, great team, right? Like behind this. And yeah, it's a project that has a product market fit whereby it continues, right? Even in the bear time, continue to generate consistent revenue, right? Over this period of time. And as Solana grow, we want to grow with Solana as an ecosystem, right? Like players and partners. So it's a very, very exciting project, a very exciting time to join. Like I work on identity project before, right? Like a lot of people has tried to work on identity project before. You can come up with the best tech, can have the best theory whatsoever, but the hardest part for all this, right, especially those with the KYC, for example, is to get users, right?
Yeah.
SNS is the other way, whereby like users is already there. There's a very, very super strong community already exists, right? And it's on one of the best chain out there, Solana. Faster, better, cheaper for everyone, make it super accessible, laying out like great infrastructure for all the growth. So like when I like heard about this opportunity, it's really like I'm so excited. And also the team, right? Like I know you've met multiple team members already, either like in Hong Kong or like elsewhere in Solana event around the world. Would love for you to meet our whole team sometimes. Like they are super, super amazing. Really hardworking, cooking every day, care so much about our community. And, you know, like one of the things like after I got, you know, like to work with them is that one of the things that we really enjoy together is to grow together, you know, not just to grow the number, right? Not just more registration, but
right.
It's all about like growing together as a person, as a team member as well. An example of that is, for example, Lisa, for example, she's our customer support, right? She's been with the team. And yeah, you know, like we have room whereby, hey, we need more hands on the marketing side, right? And Lisa raised her hand, she stepped up. So all of the amazing thing that you see on Twitter right now is like kudos to her, right? And then like all that kind of like, you know, growth mentality like within the team is super amazing to be working together with them. And also it's also like things that coming into like a full cycle, right? For example, like we have implemented our ambassador program. I don't know if you have seen them around like on Twitter.
Yes, I have. Bro, there's too many pictures on photos of people receiving their ambassador boxes, right? I think I've seen at least I feel like I've seen like 8 minimum. I want to say at least 8 of people being like, I got my .sol package, and like they're super excited. Like it's also like I noticed with the .sol merch is like you guys make it available, but you don't like exactly. It's not like I won't name names, but there are other companies that just like take a pile of shirts and they put it on a table and they leave, right? And then just you can pick them up. But it's like for .sol, it's kind of like you got to find Ohm, or you got to find Christian, or you got to find Celine, and then it's like, do you have any hats left? And it's like they always have them, but it's always like kind of you know, it's you have to interface directly with the team, which I really appreciate. And then like you seem to have like a very, very strong ambassadors program that hasn't really been operationalized with a lot of teams. I'm quite surprised that Simon, we should be doing more of that.
Yeah, I agree. That's very strong.
Yeah, it's like that's been like super amazing because it's like a full cycle, right? Like sometimes you get to meet them in IRL, then they become your ambassador. Then after they become your ambassador, right now they start hosting events like around the globe for .so. An example of that is one that's coming up. It will be in KL on the 4th of July. If you're in KL, like anyone out there, please join us. We also have other partners, SNS partners, also co-hosting things with us. So the organizer is Josh. Josh is our ambassador, and like how we met with the
FOMO. Are you talking about FOMO magazine, George?
Oh no, the other George. His family .so. So his story is like super amazing. Like he was with Bullish before. We met in Asia Blockchain Week. Afterwards, like Josh has also been along like .so holders. Not only he got it from himself, like he also got it for his dad. His dad is like a pastor, and basically they were doing some DeFi farming together, and they were using .so to help make that faster. So yeah, anyway, long story short, like he's been a fan, but now that he's on the ambassador program, he also like stepped up, and also he'll be like hosting, like, you know, emceeing like for the entire event, like for SNS in KL. So that's like the full cycle, right, of like engagement that like, you know, people coming in, first they start getting to know what SNS is. They got .so, after they got .so, they become ambassador, and then afterwards, almost like a family and team members really like helping us like to have this amazing events with other .so communities members like around the world. So it's been really like, you know, also like very positive and very good vibe all around our community. So that's what I'm really grateful for and thankful for.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I didn't realize how strong the SNS community is, but especially around the airdrop. Like Simon, can we both agree that during the SNS airdrop, they like took over the timeline for a couple of days? Like people were super
100%.
excited about that. And if you could, you know, clarify this for us. It's like 40% of the supply for SNS is for community, only 20% of that, so half, was given to like the OGs, the people who have been around forever, the people who are hoarding, like you said, SNS addresses, right? But then there's like another 20%, so another half of that 40% of the total allocation that's going to be airdropped in the future, correct? For people who are learning about the community now.
Yeah, so 20% has already been dropped. That's in the Genesis dropped. So it's a way for us to say thank you to all the .so holders that has been supporting us from day one. And you saw that all over the feed. That's really amazing. And it's also because they didn't expect it, right? It just came out and they're like, whoa, okay, SNS gonna have an airdrop. It's great. Thank you. Didn't expect that, but I mean they're already using .so and also register for .so domains. So that was really a way for us to say, hey, thank you for supporting us from day one, right? The other 20%, which is an ongoing one right now, within a campaign called LFG campaign. Right. If you haven't heard of that, or you can go to our website at sns.id. It's on the top right corner. Please click it. It has all the information right there and how you can participate. It's an amazing campaign whereby we want to bring more people to get to know .so and come into the family, right? So that campaign has started, I think in has been ongoing for around like 1 month-ish already. Very well received, especially on top right now that we are launching a. So that means with just $1, anyone on the planet, right, they can participate in this campaign, and they can also get like a .so domain, right, like in order to participate in this campaign with just $1. What the thinking around that is just we want to remove as much like barriers to entry for people as much as possible. And the idea really came from Solana Crossroad. You were there, you both were there. I was at the Solana All Stars booth. It was a really big booth right in front of the main hall, the main event. Like if you walk out of that event hall, you see them right away. There was this Turkish girl. She's still in university, right? Very excited, like just learn about Solana. Came up and say like, hey, what do you do? So I was telling her all about SNS, all about .so, show her how to get like a .so domain, for example. So the regular 5 letters or more domains on .so is $20, right? What she told me was that, hey, like it's a very, very expensive for me as a university student in Turkey. That is like I work for the whole day, or maybe if it's part-time it's more, right? Like to have that kind of money. So I mean that thing kind of stuck in our head. Also like brought it back to our team. We said, hey, why don't we try, right? Like lift this barrier and see how it goes. So there we go. $1 you can get a .so domain for your wallet. Utilize it. It's the same, like in terms of utilization, integration with any .so domain that people get. At the same time, right now it's LFG campaign. So with that $1, you enter yourself into this campaign, and I would say it's like a point collecting system whereby the 20% of our token supply will be dropped to the participants at the end of the campaign. So stay tuned on that. And like, yeah, if you're out there, you haven't participated yet, SNS.id, click on the right top to participate in our LFG campaign. And with $1, that's your ticket to get in.
Yeah, so this is what you're referring to, right? This is the SNS website, and like this is what it looks like when you first enter, and then here's this LFG button, and then you can see all the campaigns to earn dots, right? So complete missions, get badges, earn dots, and so you're saying that the easiest way to participate is to buy a domain with 10 characters or more, and that is super accessible. It's only $1. I actually thought that was genius because even looking at your data, I'm sure that the majority of domains that were purchased are kind of like under 10 characters, but there are plenty of really good domains after 10. Like, so for example, like my screen name, like is 10 characters exactly, and so like I snatched it for like $1, and I was like, oh, I'm like, and it's a really good domain name actually. So I was thank you for the deal. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and especially it brings accessibility to a lot of people in emerging countries, right? Yeah, like Indonesia, we start to see more and more people register. For example, South America, for example, is kind of the unlocked part that like, hey, yes, like here it is. There's no reason not to get it anymore, and like let's get it going. And then like to see them start using this while onboarding to Solana is really, really what we really want to see. So accessibility from everywhere. We want to see .so everywhere, not just in high-income countries, of course. Like we want to see it everywhere in the world. That's how identity works. It shouldn't be a luxury. And this is how we get started.
It should come with the wallet even. It should come with the wallet. That's
it
just
should.
a BD idea. That's probably not the first one that's putting out there, but you should definitely collaborate with some of the wallets and tell them, look, whenever you create a new wallet, there should be at least a 10 character name that's already better, like some random word, like I don't know, like fruity monkey panda .sol, whatever, like just some shit, like just make something up. It's better than the whole pub key because normies don't get that, right? So for adoption, this is like makes so much more sense.
A wallet or a phone?
And that's what I love about it. What's that?
Or phone, seeker, anybody, like,
oh, hell yeah.
So I know for a fact that there's a lot of banger domains at $1. Just be creative and take some time to figure it out. I totally agree. And we also have Will McFletcher, and the reason why I'm mentioning Will is a part of the Jupiter Uplink team, and is a part of the Soul Brothers family. I feel like it would be sick if, as a part of my onboarding flow onto Jupiter Mobile, like, look, they have features like Universal Send. And what's the point of a feature like Universal Send? Well, the whole point is that you want to onboard normies into crypto without having to, they don't need to understand anything. You just send them a link and then they download the app and suddenly, boom, they have USDC in their wallet, gasless, right? But as a part of that process, it would be awesome if they can get a .sol domain. So I guess I'm doing BD here right live on the call. I will be making that case later. But I think that's a huge hurdle for most normies. Like you try to get my mom, for example, like even though there's a very easy copy and paste feature, the mental cognitive overload of like having to copy paste an address is just kind of, it's very strange and weird to a normal person. Whereas like Crypto Schwarzenegger .sol, aka Simon, you know, I think, you know, that's over 10 characters. That's only done. You should get that one. Crypto Schwarzenegger.
Let me get that one.
Another thing too, Simon, this is I think our second most watched stream ever live. Like the only other stream that we've had that's topped this was over 1,000, and that was because we did paid advertising using credits. It was like, you know how Twitter comes with like free credits? We used some of those credits to like boost, like it's not like we advertised it, but we boosted the stream, right? This is the most viewership we've ever had in a single stream, organic, completely organic. So I think people just love I did not realize the SNS community was going to show out like this. This is insane. I really loved it. $1. Yes, it is $1.
$1.
Okay, so I officially own cryptoschwarzenegger.sol now. So
that was fast. That was fast.
Yeah.
And also, we got some new meta here. Fruity Monkey Panda.sol. That's I think Fruity is spelled a little wrong here, but I still love it though. Lord Cha.sol. Thank you very much for that comment. It was so wonderful to have you here. Like we obviously want to have you back. It's a very, very pleasant surprise that we're working together. When I first met you, I just thought you were cool. I never thought that we would be working anytime soon in any capacity, but like I'm actually really glad. And we have a meeting coming up this week where we're going to be talking about all the fun things that we can cook up together to help.
I'm super excited. I'm super excited.
Simon, I feel like we need to. So I have a new supplier to create workout wear. And so like, and this is all kind of related to Soul Brothers. I would love to get our .sol domains like on a jersey, you know, and like to like, .sol or Crypto Schwarzenegger.sol.
Can we send that to you?
Oh, I mean, we have our own, but but we would love .sol merch.
No, like, I mean the shirt. The shirt.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean,
I have one, honestly. Like my girlfriend wears this a lot. The .sol. Like she's always walking around outside with .sol.
That was maybe the personal. What do you think about the personalized one? Like you get,
I think personalized ones are great. Yeah.
You want it in the middle like this, or you want it like somewhere in your like left side?
I don't know, because I feel like personally, I like it more subtle. Personally. Like I think what would be kind of sick is like patches, you know, like custom, but that's like a lot of work, like to create custom patches.
We do that, you know. But
we do have custom Soul Brothers patches, but I do want to create like a custom .sol patch that I would like put on stuff, or even stickers. You know what? Custom stickers would be sick. To like, I don't even know if that's possible, but if like there's like a vendor that you could bring to an event. Where it's like you can get you get like a 3-pack of like your own custom, but you have to buy it at the booth, right? Like you have to buy a domain, and if you buy a domain, then like we'll give you like 3 stickers. Yeah, because like that's sick, but I don't know how to create custom stickers, so I'm totally.
Oh, that's a great idea. We'll figure it out. Exactly. Maybe Breakpoint. You think that would be sick for Breakpoint?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. Dude, custom. That for sure would get, because a patch is a little difficult because not everyone can sew that on. But a sticker is like you put that on your luggage, you'll put that on your laptop. Like if it's custom to you, like absolutely, I think people would love stuff like that.
Okay, wow, that's a great idea. Well, thank you. I think we should just figure something.
I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. $1 done. Says Alexander. Dude, this is the most comments that we've gotten in a single stream. This is actually kind of insane. Oh, I did not realize how popular we were. You are way more popular than we are.
Right?
Nobody comments on our streams, but you get Oman. It's like suddenly like, hello, everybody.
Good sign for the .sol community. Strong community.
How to comment on stream? Community. Ace, I got to bring you on, you know? Lord Shaw. And We got Elizaveta. Do you know all these people, all these names? You must be very
Yeah.
familiar
Yeah.
with. Oh, who's gonna get $1? That's so. Someone's gotta get
Hello.
$1. That's so.
It's still not taken. Oh, well, I think
Probably
it's gonna
not.
be fast. Yeah.
I feel like that's the merch that I want to get. I want to get like .soul and underneath it just like $1. Ace, I will say your name over and over again. You are obviously an OG member of the community. We also have Woof.soul, Ohm.soul. You just a lot of love over here. Ohm is a legend. I agree, Lord Cha. Everyone is in love with SNS and Ohm. And
Yeah. Oh, actually, how did I do that? Oh, there we go.
it's so gangster. Okay. So, Ohm,
will
thank you
do
so much for visiting us here over at Soul Brothers. We are definitely going to have you on again. And just thank you so much. We are going to do the rest of the podcast. We still have the latest and greatest updates to give on Solana. And obviously, there's an update here that it's like has something to do with Sui. I don't know. We are going to talk about it on the podcast, but like since you're here, we like might as well mention it. What do you think, Simon?
Yeah, sure. Can we talk about it, Om? Like your little SUI expansion plans? What do you want to tell the community, if you
Maybe
can?
next time. Let's keep it a bit. Let's do the next time. Yeah, maybe next time.
Okay, cool.
Okay, sure.
Sounds good.
No problem.
All right, guys. Then stay tuned.
Whoa.
There's gonna be more news. What's up, Bino?
There's one thing that we gotta fix here. There's something we gotta fix. This is not acceptable. How do I get a .soul? My guy. Come on, we're gonna fix this. We're fixing this live. Okay.
Okay.
Tell
let's
the
do
people
it.
we're on the S. Where do they gotta go? First of all, okay. So
That's ID.
this is for you. All right. You gotta go to sns.id. Okay. You go to SNS and ID. It'll take you to this website. And what do they gotta do next? So we're gonna go Ace. Is Ace available?
I think it's
No
taken
way.
for sure.
No.
No way.
No. Okay. You can't
But
do
with the
emojis,
crown.
right?
You can, yeah.
You can do emojis.
You can do emojis. Yeah, you can do emojis.
Dude,
you
I
can
did
do,
not know that.
You can do
What?
Korean
You can do
language.
emojis.
Yeah, you can do
Yeah,
Korean
Diamond-
language. You can do
Diamond.com is
Chinese.
the most valuable domain.
Wait, what?
Have you done your
Yeah.
name?
Dude,
in
I did
Korean?
not know this. This is
Yeah,
crazy.
you can do emojis. No
Okay.
problem. Right there.
All right. I
Yeah.
feel very stupid. I did not. Okay. Guys, you can get domains in. Okay. I should have known this sooner. I was trying to shame Ace into learning how to buy SNS domains, but then I ended up shaming myself for not knowing. You could use emojis and you can use Korean characters. What the hell?
Yeah, Korean
So, like-
characters, Chinese characters, all works. You can try Korean.
Simon. That's Simon's name. Simon.
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 Available.
So yeah.
Available,
Wow.
right?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great. I should get my
Whoa.
Korean domain name.
Why not?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Seoul Burotus.
That's Japanese?
No, it's Korean. Seoul
Korean.
Burotus.
Still
Yeah,
available.
dude, we have to get these. This is sick. You can do this in Korean. Okay, all right. Well, that's okay. I ended up learning something. I was trying to teach something, but I ended
Thanks,
up learning
Ace.
something. So. And also a really interesting thing I'm seeing on the stream here is that it's like Simon Eno Ohm, which is SEA, which is like Southeast Asia, and also like C. I don't know. It's just cool. So-
Wow. What is happening?
I don't know. The universe is just aligning right now. I've learned so much on this stream.
Alignment.
Hmm,
Yeah.
Aligned.
Cool.
Um,
Thank you so much for coming on to Soul Brothers and sharing
thank
some of your
you.
personal story.
Yeah, thank
Was
you.
good
Thank
having
you.
you.
Thank you. It's been really fun with you guys, and looking forward to the next one very, very soon. See you.
Cool.
See ya.
Thanks, Om.
Adios.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Adios. Thank you. Cool. Thank you guys for tuning into this beautiful conversation. That was the Ohm special EP to dive into SNS and the Solana name service, which is an OG project on Solana and a sponsor of the show. So it was great to talk to the CEO of the company. We're going to do it again. I think there's much more we can learn about Ohm and the team as well. There's many more beautiful people in the background that make this happen. And me personally, I do definitely have some, strong positive opinions about the project since I'm a identity builder myself. But yeah, I hope we could give everyone a little bit of insight into SNS. If you don't have an SNS domain yet, make sure to get yours. 10 characters are just $1. And also potentially you can still grab your name or your first name, your last name, or your handle. Just make sure to check on the marketplace on sns.id. But yeah, cool. That was the special EP. Thank you so much for tuning into that one. And we'll see you for the next EP, which is going to be the latest and greatest of Soul Brothers, which airs every single week on YouTube, Twitter, and all our podcast channels.
Yeah, we're gonna go right into it, but bro, I'm just looking at these comments. It is dude, the dot soul community. Okay, look, I knew you guys were lit. I just did not realize how lit we were talking here, because this feels like I'm on a Jupiter stream with just all the comments of people. Like I'm not used to. Usually it's like we put up a comment and then just like we start talking, but there's actually like quite a bit of feedback. People are very excited about the $1 domain. Like everybody loves a good deal, Simon, right? Like if you could give people like a good deal, like they want that for sure. And this is just
100%.
Wow.
Yeah, I agree.
Need to get a .sol. And I feel like there's a couple of people here who weren't aware of like how to even get one, or if they were interesting or not. They are very interesting. There is an active point system called LFG. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Everyone should have this on. Like I've been using mine for like probably like 2 years or something, just like to get fucking USDC after someone paid for my meal. I just tell them, okay, just send it to simul.sol, and then they give me, like, it's so much easier than, okay, let me just send you my pub key on Telegram, and then you can copy and paste it to your wallet. So is that
yeah, no, definitely. That is amazing. I'm glad that we're partnered up with SNS, and next time we gotta next episode of Gym Bros, like let me make the athletic wear with .sol. And then like we'll work out in the gym with like .sol. That'll be a lot of fun. Bro, I worked out for the first time yesterday in a very long time, and my entire body hurts so badly.
I saw it on Twitter. I was like, hell yeah, it's happening. This is good. This is good, though. This is good. I was super happy to see that. I don't know why, but
yeah,
like I really appreciate people that are close to me working out and taking care of their health and body. Like it feels very good.
So this isn't.
Keep going.
Yeah, no, I will. And this isn't a really popular opinion, but I'm just going to be very honest about how I feel about it. I love drugs and alcohol. I actually really, I really do.
Awesome.
I do.
Caveman,
but
clip it.
Yes, I do. I enjoy it. And I think that you can do it in moderation. But, I'm trying to have a kid. So I think that it's time to be responsible and like think about long-term health. And like, I would like to be here longer than, 40 years. So, we're on the Simon workout plan, the Soul Brothers workout plan, and we are going to go right into the latest and greatest on Solana. Do you want to jump right into it? I think that Simon has frozen, or my computer has rugged. I am entirely unsure, but he looks very handsome. So, can people in the comments let me know what exactly happened here? Did I rug or did Simon rug? Oh, yeah. There he goes. Hey, Simon.
But I'm on Wi-Fi now, so I just need to check if I run out of data. But keep going. You were saying.
Oh yeah, no. We're gonna jump right into the latest and greatest on Solana. We have quite a few things to talk about, and we have to speed run through this because we don't have like we can't like dedicate as much time as we usually do into this format. But still, like there's so many great things that are happening in the Solana ecosystem that we definitely want to talk about. So where do you want to start, Simon? Do you want to just go straight into it, or you want to do our normal intro? What are you thinking?
Exactly. Yeah, we're gonna do the intro real quick because it's gonna be two separate things to air. You know what I mean?
Sure. Sure. Absolutely.
Just before we do, let me just make sure that my connection is okay, because now I'm on Wi-Fi and it's not really reliable here. Not gonna lie.
Sure.
And I'm trying to get my stupid phone.
Should I dance? I'm dancing.
Yeah.
Is
Please
this working?
Entertain the people. Do something fun. Be funny now.
Are you not entertained? Actually, so there's quite a few changes that are coming to Soul Brothers in the next coming weeks. I think that there's some new content that we want to experiment with. Gym Brothers is a great example of the experiments that we're trying to run beyond the latest and greatest on Solana. If you guys have any ideas about what you want to see on the podcast, please let us know. I think someone let's see what's going on here. There's so many. Oh my god, these comments are crazy. There's so many. We need them Sanctum travel pillows with the SNS domain bonus when we bought pillow.sol. That's a very good idea. Solana is for everyone. I agree. Crypto Terminator Musk. What else do we got? Had a great chat with Ohm at SCZ Dubai, the Solana Economic Zone that's run by Forma and our very good friend Farhaj. She is very amazing. I 100% agree, Alex. $2.sui, lol. When Cash here. Cash actually was interviewed by Simon.
Cash
Simon is one of the best interviewers that I know. He's interviewed Cash. He's interviewed Solana Sensei. He's interviewed Jakey. He's interviewed, Mert as well.
Mert.
Yeah. He's interviewed basically, all the core team members of Super Team Balkan, and Arthur is a very good friend to Simon. So Arthur is the lead of Super Team Europe as well as Super Team France. So it only makes sense that Simon at some point Simon is like our chief correspondent. Like he's very, very good at speaking to people in positions of power. I, on the other hand, am not very good at doing that. So
we're complimentary.
Yes. Dance for
you
us.
did a great job with OM as well. Okay, let me start the show. We gotta get some.
Yeah, we gotta go. I'm at 20% battery. Let's go.
Exactly. Yes. So okay, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Sol Brothers, where it is our job to throw you into the Solana rabbit hole and show you around in our exciting ecosystem.
Our mission is to help you stay on top of the latest and greatest on Solana so that you never run out of things to fun. Fuck! Simon! Oh, no. I haven't screwed up that intro in a very long time. No, I'll do it again. Sorry. Cut. All right. This is not making the edit. All right.
Sorry,
3,
Caveman.
2, 1. Sorry, Caveman. Our video editor.
Go ahead. You do your
Our
part.
mission is to make sure that you stay on top of the latest and greatest on Solana so that you never run out of the fun things to talk about. Simon, we just finished a wonderful episode with Ohm, and now we are on the second half of the podcast where we're talking about all the amazing things that have happened on Solana. Bear market, bull market, crab market, doesn't matter. We are always here. What's going on? What's cooking? Good looking?
Well, a lot is going on. Honestly, I have a bunch of things I want to touch on here in the pod. We have a packed agenda for this week as well. It is EP 35 of Sol Brothers podcast. If you are listening to this right now, if you're tuning in right now, thanks for being a part of this journey. And just a little heads up as well. If you are watching this on Twitter, there is content as well on YouTube. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel and you will see all the beautiful long form formats and whatever else we're shipping in the future. And you can even tune into Sol Brothers Pod on Apple and Spotify whenever you are in the train, commuting in your car, taking a walk, taking a shit, whatever you're doing, just plug in and listen to Sol Brothers Pod for the latest and greatest on Solana. And let me tell you, there is a lot of latest and a lot of greatest. I don't even know where to start, but we're going to call this EP, Solana is on fire. Dancer, because that is one thing we want to talk about, and it is almost true. Solana is not really on fire, Dancer, yet. A little disclaimer here, okay, but we're getting there. We're making progress. So I think that would be the first topic I'd like to touch on. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to go into the most comfortable part of the podcast, or are we cutting that today for time?
We will cut it for time probably.
Okay.
And just talk a little bit about the news on Solana, and if we have time at the end after we run through the most latest and greatest, and you're still on the pod listening to the rest of the EP, then I'll give you a quick rundown of where we're at right now in the market.
Absolutely. Perfect. So this is reported by Solana 4, but we have Fire Dancer, which is developed by Jump, kind of a competitor to all of the developments that are being made over at Anza. But still, they have 8.48% of all total stake on Solana. So we're talking 33 million worth of SOL has been staked with Fire Dancer. And out of the 1,270 validators on Solana, 93 of them are running the Fire Dancer client. So that's about 7%. For, client software that hasn't exactly been fully vetted, this is, I mean, not vetted, but fully operationalized and put out into the wild. This is very, very impressive.
Yeah, and I mean, just a little bit of background here as well. The validator ecosystem on Solana is it's pretty strong. We're not as centralized anymore as Solana used to be. It was like the reputation of the Solana ecosystem always from some of the other forks, from other chains. They said, oh yeah, Solana is so centralized. Like the hardware you need to run your validators is so expensive. No one can do it. Everything happens in one geography. But hey, let me tell you, we do have incentive systems right now in place that incentivize validators run in all kinds of geographies. So if you set up your validator in a different geography, you might get some delegation of SOL from some programs we have on Solana, and they will basically, that's an incentive to be more decentralized. And then the machines you need to actually run the validator can be rented as well for as little as like 1 point something K per month, which is a small business operation that is not too unrealistic to spin up, right? So it's not easy to have a profitable validator business on Solana. That's one thing I want to make clear, but it is possible, and it is, it's not easy money, but it's possible. And also, programs like Fire Dancer will bring us to the next level. Why? Because currently Solana is running on the Agave client, which is pretty performant and already, does a very good job. But Fire Dancer will bring us to the next level, together with Alpenglow, which will launch later this year as well fully. I think it's going to be insane, because right now we're already having a fast and cheap blockchain. That were the two main selling points that attracted builders to come here. With Fire Dancer and Alpenglow, we're gonna fucking, go to a whole different level here. Okay, so I think people don't get that yet. Is this going to be bullish for price action? Potentially. Is this bullish for the tech? 100%, right? And 8% stake is already pretty good. And last comment on this, Fire Dancer is also subsidizing people right now to run the Fire Dancer client. And you can see it in the Solana Flow tweet here as well. You actually get 20,000 SOL delegated to your validator if you are running Fire Dancer instead of Agave right now. So a lot of validators are on that path right now, including us as well. With Solana ID, and we want to switch to Fire Dancer, which might require a little bit of more performant hardware. Okay, that's the little caveat here. But once you have it, you get the 20K SOL delegated to validator, which helps you to be more profitable.
So so just for people who aren't aware of this, like Simon, obviously, because we have a lot of new faces on the SOL. Hello, everybody that's joining from the SNS community. Thank you very much for being here on the stream. But for those of you who don't know, like, and you've been living under a rock, because Simon is the co-founder of Solana ID, and as a part of working on Solana ID, he actually runs his own validator for Solana ID. And if I'm not mistaken, you've attracted over 50,000 SOL stake into your validator in about like a month or two. Which is 2 months. extremely impressive. Like anybody who's tried to attract stake before will understand. Like, I mean, it's not like Simon is starting off with a silver spoon in his mouth and like he's getting, for example, like Austin Federa, like $500 million worth of SOL into 0.0, right?
That'd be
like,
great.
Right. I also would like
Austin,
$500 million in SOL for.
Hit me up. Yeah.
Hey Austin, could I change?
I give you a free Solana ID.
Any spare SOL?
I want a meme like that, actually. Like,
dude,
on the street somewhere, like begging for SOL.
If you only got like 1 or 2% of his allocation, like you could just basically run Solana ID on passive income until PMF. Basically, what I mean?
Yep.
But yeah,
interesting.
Were you incentivized to like? So one thing that was a little unclear to me in the tweet is that it is 20K SOL per person, right? Just to be really clear here.
Per validator.
Yeah. Oh, per validator. I see. And so are you already running the Fire Dancer client, or?
We're just upgrading our hardware. So because if you are running your hardware on a specific, amount of performance you have in your servers, then it's going to be tough to run Fire Dancer reliably, and you don't want any off time, right, of your validator. This will probably hurt you and take away stake you already have. So that's why it's a bit too dangerous to use medium performant hardware. So right now we're upgrading it, and once you upgraded your hardware, either you go into higher price plan of your rented server, or you just buy your own hardware with better performance, and that could bring you then closer to being able to run FireDance reliably. It's not trivial. I have to say, you have to have a good person, technical person that can set it up, and you'll have to have the right hardware for it, and then you can apply for the program.
I see. Well, I mean, if you're a validator, you already know all this information.
Not necessarily.
Right? Not necessarily. Actually, there's okay.
Yeah, because it's one of the. It has been quite underrated, this program. Like, not a lot of people knew that this happens, and I don't. Let's not talk more about it. I don't want more people to know about it, because I want to get in the first 100 validators still, once our hardware is ready. And right now we're already at 30. So what's next on the agenda?
So next up, we have a huge update in the world of stablecoins. MasterCard has joined the Global Dollar Network, allowing institutions to mint USDG stablecoin, while also adding support for the recently launched FIUSD on Solana by Fiserv, expanding stablecoin use across payments and remittance. So this is really fascinating, because I think one thing that we've noticed strategically is that in the first few years of Solana's inception, USDC was the favored stablecoin, right? Like, it was the stablecoin that we used on FTX, rest in peace, or the opposite of that. Anyways, but USDC, the reason why USDC won on Solana is because that was the stablecoin that was used for all the liquidity pools for FTX, right? And then they continued that relationship for years. Like, you go to all the hacker houses and all these events, you remember, right? Like, even Breakpoint last year over in Singapore. I mean, the Circle booth, it wasn't a booth. It was like, it was like 20% of the showroom. It was huge, right? The Circle area. But what we've noticed at Accelerate is that it looks like Global Dollar is actually making huge movements in Solana. I noticed that there's also like Global Dollar liquidity pools that are popping up just about everywhere. And now MasterCard is working with the Global Dollar Network. That is a huge update to the kind of stablecoin world in Solana. Do you think that will ever shake Circle dominance here?
It could, right? It could. I mean, it's all like, if you want to break into an industry that already has some sort of monopolies in there, you can only do it by distribution, right? If you crack distribution, and if you probably find the right networks to distribute your asset, when it's about assets like in this case. So yeah, the global dollar, actually something I'm not super familiar with, USDG. It is it's a stable coin similar to USDC, pegged to the US dollar, and was introduced by the global dollar network, which is actually a consortium of some fintechs that includes Robinhood, Kraken, Galaxy Digital. So there's a few companies in there, also Paxos, actually, interestingly. And it's been around since a while, not too old, I think November 2024. And it seems like a powerful group of people that want to push USDG adoption, and joining MasterCard and their distribution network might be a good idea to at least compete with Tether, USDT, or USDC, which are right now 90% of market cap in stables.
That is, I think, a huge existential risk to the ecosystem, is to rely too heavily on a single stablecoin. And in fact, as you mentioned, the name of the game is distribution. You are 100% correct. So what exactly is Global Dollar doing to try to improve distribution of their stablecoin? Well, obviously incentives, right? This is the same playbook that PayPal ran. You remember that, right? Like, PayPal was incentivizing all of the protocols, including Lulo and Camino, and I believe Solend, now rebranded to Save. And basically, like, incentives go into like APY, right? So Camino gave massive boosts to Global Dollar with all incentives, currently the highest APY on stables. But even though Camino appears to be providing the boosts, it's not Camino. It's clearly coming out of Global Dollar's pocket into Camino's pocket, and then they get a cut of that, but then they're putting the majority of that into APY. Or maybe they're not getting a cut of it, and it's just simply that they're trying to incentivize more users of the platform. But still, this is what distribution looks like.
Yeah, for sure.
And speaking of developments in the validator world, we probably should have covered this a little bit sooner, but you saw this tweet, right? What the heck?
What happened?
The largest high school in America, so it's Brooklyn Technical High School over in New York, is now operating a Solana validator with over $2 million in stake already. So you've seen the movie Spider-Man, obviously, with Tom Holland, the newest versions of it.
Yeah.
Well, you remember in the movie, like his high school is like this technical high school. It's a sciences high school. It's like all the students there are very big brained. They're into robotics or AI or whatever their specialization is. It's based on a real high school, and that high school is called Brooklyn Technical High School. It is the largest high school in America, and it makes sense. Like
I haven't seen the validator news. That's crazy.
Yeah, but it makes sense that like, okay, if you could imagine like any high school that would run its own validator, it would be Spider-Man's high school, 100%. You know what I mean? Like the people in that high school, like obviously they would be smart enough to run their own validator. And a lot of these kids come from money because, you know, it's a very nice place. And so they've already attracted $2 million in stake. What the fuck?
Wow. I mean, crazy. It makes so much sense though. Like we need, I mean, if you know the right people and you educate them about the opportunities here, you know, they're like, okay, 7% APY, that's actually pretty good. Like you know, in TradFi you just don't get these APIs with this amount of risk level, because the risk level by now is pretty decent when it comes to validating. Like, you know, the only risk you're really having here is that you're that the Solana blockchain capitulates, right? So
yeah, I mean, so that's the thing. It's like it's not smart to get into validators or staking or liquid staking if you don't believe in the core thesis. And the core thesis is very simple: Solana go up, right? Like you believe that this network is here to stay, that institutional capital will come. You believe that the consumers are here. You believe that billion-dollar businesses will be built on Solana. If you believe in all those things, then you probably also believe that Solana's price will go up. And so therefore, you know, Solana's inflation is at like what, 11%, if I'm not mistaken, 11%. I forget. Sorry. But the point being is that the inflation is so, but the inflation is so high that you need to capture fees, right? Like you need to capture emissions. You need to capture MEV because otherwise, like you're just bleeding money. Like your SOL exposure, you know, it's better for you to have a yield bearing component to it. And so like this is a very giga-brained Chad move that Brooklyn Technical High School, led by Nick, who is the CEO. He says he's 18 and pre-rich. What the heck? He's the CEO of Sharks Node.
18
and pre-rich. Dude, I was not doing shit when I was 18. I don't know about you, but I was like figuring my life out. I was hanging out with my friends. I was not running a validator. That is absolutely nutso. But yeah, congratulations over to Brooklyn Technical High School for running I guess the first node operated by not by a public school, but like kind of by students at a public school ever, I believe.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It is cool. It is cool.
Yeah.
We need more of that.
So we kind of covered this news last week very briefly in the highlights, but like we didn't actually have the conversation. And I thought that was a shame because I actually really love this project, and I think you do too, because it's run by a fellow Drake, which is why I would love to give you the honors, if you don't mind, because Drake's on top, right? So first of all, for those in the audience who've been living under a rock and have no idea what the hell I'm talking about, what are the Drakes, Simon? What's the den?
The Lucid Drakes is the best startup society on Solana. That's how we call ourselves actually these days. So it's a group of founders that managed to acquire an NFT that's pretty exclusive. Only 69 NFTs out there, 2 more to mint. And benefits of being a Drake are obviously access to the den, which is this exclusive circle of founders. And it's a great place to make valuable friendships between builders on Solana. And you get help from all these beautiful chats. Whenever you have a question, you throw it in the den and someone's going to help you. Whenever you need an intro, you throw it in the den and someone's going to help you. Whenever you have a bad day, just let the Drakes know. They'll, pull you up. So yeah, it's a fun group. And it's I think probably one of the most exciting or the most exciting NFT project right now. And Igor, shout out to Igor, is the founder of Texture Finance, and not only a fellow Drake, but also building one of the most exciting lending protocols on Solana right now that are actually really laser sharply focused on lending and borrowing in a way that is a bit different from what we know from lending markets like Camino, because TextureFi is bringing independent lending markets that are basically independently from each other in a peer-to-peer fashion to Solana. And they've been around since a while already with TextureFi, but now Texture 2.0 has arrived on the shores of Solana land. And Texture 2.0 is, as they call, a new layer of capital efficiency on Solana with customizable lending markets and dynamic risk tools. And the only thing that actually matters here, what you care about, is APY, and it has actually very attractive APY. Like using TextureFi right now, you can get a really interesting APY in the isolated lending pools that they have. Each of these pools, as I said, is run independently with own assets and parameters that helps you as well to basically define your own risk profile, right? Because you can pick a lending pool or create a lending pool with risk parameters that differ from the other. And borrowers can then target their liquidity from pool by pool. And they also introduced a concept called smart vaults, professionally managed strategies that allocate capital across multiple pools based on performance and risk. So the smart vaults will basically just route your capital to the path of highest APY, which is probably what lenders are looking for when they put money in a lending pool. And smart vaults also help you to distribute your risk, not only APY, but also risk strategically without fragmenting the ecosystem too much. So pretty exciting things, and definitely something worth at least trying out. So you can head over to texture.finance and try out their new, most innovative P2P lending protocol.
Yeah, I think that smart vaults as well as isolated lending pools are a major upgrade to Texture. I know for a fact, speaking to Igor privately, that they have been cooking this update to Texture Finance for months. And so it's finally here. It's still in beta. Yes, it's live, but I'm really looking forward to see how they continue to evolve the product. Obviously, they've had a glow up with their branding as well. I am just so excited for Texture Finance. Igor is a stunning human being. I've also had a chance to talk to his co-founder, and his co-founder, not gonna lie, dude is a little hard to understand. And the reason why he's hard to understand is because he knows too much shit. So you ask him one question and he goes deep. He goes like way deeper than my ability to comprehend what he's talking about. But the crux, if I understood his co-founder correctly, of what he thinks about all day, every day is risk to the user, right? Like that's the key consideration that Igor and his co-founder have when building out new features for Texture is that how do we reduce risk for everybody while still providing very attractive yields. So very bullish on Texture 2.0. I'm looking really forward to the next chapter in their story. And as always, Drake's on top, motherfuckers. I think that Simon has also frozen one more time. We're just he is back, everybody. Oh man, it's a little touch and go today, brother. Cut.
Yep. I just can't touch my phone. I literally can't touch it.
Yeah. Okay. So moving on to our next piece of news in the ecosystem, also something that we should have covered last week, I think. But actually, no, this was just a couple of days ago. I apologize. But our friends over at Venta, who work on all of the payment solutions in conference for Breakpoint, for Accelerate, for Solana Summit, any Solana conference you can think of, they run the POS terminals that allow you to make payments from your wallet into a vendor, right? So if you're trying to claim merch, or you're trying to pay for coffee, or you're trying to get some food from a vending machine that uses Solana Pay, what you're actually doing is using Venta technology. Here on the screen, we have our very good friend, Justin. Have you ever had the pleasure of meeting Justin?
Not really.
Yeah, so
actually.
Justin is from Singapore, and he used to run a project called Metacamp, which was almost like a precursor to Super Team Singapore. They're not the same organization, but he actually has done a lot of work in Solana building community. Now he is working as the CTO of Venta, and wow, the dude is always working. When I saw him accelerate, he was perpetually just on his computer like that. And now they have this new feature called bulk credit, and bulk credit is a first extension program that supercharges the possibilities for advertisers and merchants alike. So what it does is that, it's not just about like unsustainable burn of like cashbacks and yield incentives. What they do is they allow advertisers to buy credits in bulk from merchants and then to pass those savings on to customers. So that's the flywheel, right? It's not so much from cashback, but it is from advertisers that are providing discounts to the users. It's a much more sustainable model. So this is about on-chain loyalty and reward systems that align their incentives with both merchants and the advertisers. So this is just one out of many innovations that are going to be coming out of Venta, but I really appreciate that they're using Solana to try to bridge together both, the advertising world, the merchant world, right at the POS system using Solana as payment.
Yeah, we like cashbacks, we like rewards, we like all this kind of stuff. Loyalty programs like Groupon and Yelp, they have been around and proven to be valuable. So I think it's a very interesting sector to experiment in. So good job, Venta, for diving into this.
Love you, Ghost. Love you, Kay. Love you, Justin, everybody. And also Isaac, miss y'all and hope to see you soon. Okay, moving right along, because Simon, I have 7% battery, so this is getting a little dicey. But now our friends at Jupiter have released Ultra API, has the token search, right? So you can use the API to search mints, names, or symbols. So there's been a huge upgrade in the Ultra API. Huge shout out to, I think his name is Konstantin. I met him over in Berlin. He is part of the Jupiter DevRel team. There's so many different teams in Jupiter now, Simon. I'm having a hard time keeping track of all of them.
Yes.
But have you ever used a portal called Catalytics?
No.
So that's in Korean. Yeah, Catalytics. So there's this really nifty tool that kind of shows you cool stats about everything Jupiter. So like, for example, if you wanted to see what was going on with Litterbox, which is accruing all the fees for revenue, like they show you all the information that you could possibly want about Jupiter, even like stuff like governance. You can see the different addresses, how much size they have, how many people per category. So this same team is also the team that runs DevRel for Jupiter, and they're constantly making improvements to simple things like the API, which you might think is like, well, isn't that all figured out? It's like, no, it's like you need developer feedback. You need to be understanding what developers need. And so there are constantly upgrades to Jupiter's products and services that make it easier for developers to build on top of. And speaking of making things easier, Jupiter has a new homepage. Did you see?
Yes, I saw. Of course, I saw. UI update in the house, completely redid the whole setup of what we already kind of thought is going to be forever good, because it was actually pretty good. But they decided to give a little revamp. Community has opinions on the homepage as always. You get good ones, you get bad ones. What's yours? What do you think about the new landing page of Jupiter here?
I think that the original homepage was perfect for what Jupiter was, just swap UI, right? This new homepage is better for what Jupiter is trying to be in the future, right?
Yeah.
That being said, it still has a long way to go, right? But that's not, I would say, like, I don't have any issue with this version of the homepage. I'm just simply saying that, like, everybody is judging this based on, like, it's the first iteration, guys. Like, fucking relax. It's, but I think it's a very good first iteration, and it better represents what Jupiter has become.
Sure.
Swaps, pro token trading, right? Alpha scan for different tokens, perps, lend, the mobile product, portfolio. Jupiter is a true juggernaut now with so many
Yes.
products and services, and the previous UI was just not working. But now, this
I mean-
new UI, the Solana Super App, it's so good. What's up?
It's a directional move that you can actually see from here, right? We're basically ending the era of Jupiter, the DEX aggregator, and we're entering the era of Jupiter, the Solana Super App, because that's literally what they have become by integrating all these new beautiful products, like Portfolio, which is, it is a company itself alone, standalone. They acquired it, but now it's part of the whole product, and yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And then there's the thing is, like, they're not done even, like there's so much more coming. Obviously JupeNet, I think, is gonna blow a lot of people's minds once this is out, but this is still future music. But for now, I think what we can focus on are the things that are live right now that you can see here in the bar, but then also things that will come very, very soon, like the new Jupiter creator coin product that we don't, it's not officially live yet. Jupiter Studio has been discussed on the timeline already since 1 or 2 weeks, with the first launch was trialed a while back. But yeah, it's gonna bring a launchpad experience similar to Moonshot, what Moonshot did last week, but also similar to what Pump is doing since a while, to Jupiter for the Jup community, and also with some learnings that we saw in the ecosystem baked into a whole new product developed by the chats from Jupiter. So that will be also placed here on the new Super App landing page.
Yep. And Simon, this is the last piece of news that we're going to cover this week, because I think I'm at about 2% batteries.
Getting there.
Jupiter Exchange has flipped 1-inch OKX-DEX, CowSwap, Cetus, and KyberSwap in combined 24-hour aggregate volume. It's crazy. It's like literally one super app, one chain beats out
easy
everybody, right? Easy.
It's not even.
And that's just.
I'm so used to these news already that I'm not surprised even. It's like, it's sad, because Jupiter is just like, these stats, they roll in on a weekly basis. Like, oh, Jupiter most volume, Jupiter, like most revenue, whatever. They're just crushing the stats. That's insane if you think about it.
And another thing that I love is that this is Jupiter news. It's 100% Jupiter news. But look at the username.
Of course.
SolanaNews.sol. Of course.
Yes, sir.
.sol is everywhere. SNS domination. But yeah, it's been a pretty good, dude. This is our most watched stream ever. Like, completely organic. That is insane.
All-time high.
Yep, all-time high. We only do all-time highs around here. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in to the stream this week. I apologize for the battery issues on my side. Simon, there is a 50% probability that my computer will turn off before we close.
Then let's do the outro. For everyone who wants to stay on, I'm going to look at the chat with you guys for like 5 minutes. But yeah, thanks, Ino, for being my co-host. As always, it was beautiful to talk about these news, and also to record our special EP with Om, the CEO of SNS, which you guys can also watch very soon on our channels. So yeah, please make sure to tune in next week again when Soul Brothers are going to be live, and also consume our content on Twitter or on YouTube, or also on Instagram by now, because we do have an Instagram channel as well. So if you want to be a Soul Brother, then make sure to just give us a follow everywhere, wherever you go. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and we'll see you and catch you at the next one. Peace out.
Adios. And cut. We're not going to stop the stream. We're just cutting for Caveman here. Simon, do you want to do our regular script that we do? Yes.
Before
I think we can knock that out really quickly. But I mean, I don't know if I'll be able to finish it, but we shall see.
Okay, you start. I start. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Here's the most bullish news and launches on Solana from last week.
Firedancer has officially secured 8.4% of total stakes Solana, and they're giving away to. I should not mention that to be respectful to you, because never mind. I'm taking that out. Sorry.
Doesn't matter.
Let's try it again.
But keep it short. Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Firedancer is on fire. They have officially secured 8.4% of total staked Solana on the network.
Speaking of validators, Brooklyn Technical High School is now operating a Solana validator with over $2 million staked.
SNS has announced that Solana domain holders can get a free matching SUI domain, which is a nice little bonus for anybody who believes in the Solana name service mission.
Jupiter rips through the leaderboard once again. 24-hour volume hits number one against multi-chain exchanges.
Starting to get boring now, isn't it, Simon?
Mm-hmm.
MasterCard has joined the Global Dollar Network as its... Oh, fuck. That's... Nope. That... Sorry about that. All right.
Roll it back.
2. Yeah, roll it back, Turbo. All right. MasterCard has joined the Global Dollar Network, which allows institutions to mint USDG as a stablecoin. That was dumb. Nope. Whoops. Try that again. 3, 2, 1. MasterCard has joined the Global Dollar Network, which allows institutions to mint USDG directly.
Venta introduces bulk credit, which is a new loyalty program for payments with Solana, which will drop the cost of marketing campaigns exponentially and sustainably.
This has been your weekly dose of Solana dopamine.
Awesome.
Okay, officially I have. I'm gonna stay until my computer dies. That's my plan. So you want to go through the TA? Is that what we're doing right now? Thanks to everyone for joining today. This has been awesome.
Yes. Cool. Yeah, we have everything that we need, I think, for the EPs. So Caveman can do his God's work, his Lord's work. But come here and...
Oh, actually, is Ohm still here? I think Ohm is still here. What the hell?
Yeah, she's hanging around, I think, backstage. Maybe she's listening to our...
I'm just adding her back on stage. Maybe she'll turn her camera back on.
She's very busy doing things, doing SNS things, busy building
Soul
the identity
sister.
empire. Yeah, soul sister. I like that actually. Yeah, guys, it has been interesting in the charts. It was kind of slow initially, but everything is going as planned, honestly. So Solana is trading right now at $150, pretty accurately, $150. And we recovered from the $95 low with the first 5-wave move to the upside, and then a pretty accurate ABC corrective move to the downside, hitting most of the targets. So technically, we completed the ABC structure because we hit the resistance area for the wave 2 of this larger wave 1 that played out since $95 to $185 wave 1. From there, we saw the pullback down into almost the 0.618 FIB levels. We didn't reach it quite yet, which is normally the ideal target. So there's still chances for a further drop to the downside to basically push down the C wave in yellow here a bit further. But since now on the shorter time frame, we actually managed to create another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which kind of gives us more hopium now that this C wave is actually concluded, because this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 in white. This has been a first indicator and is completed now with, let me put maybe this one here away. This one here completed now with the last wave 5 to the upside here. And this again confirms whenever we have a 5-wave move to the upside, it confirms basically the continuation of an upward trend. And as long as these 5 waves play out, we're cool, we're good. So what we will see next here might be just again an ABC correction into another wave 1, 2 setup. Okay, so another 1, 2 inside of the broader 1, 2 that already completed. Okay, so yesterday on Sunday, the 29th of June, we concluded the 5th wave here to the upside. Potentially, it looks pretty concluded, honestly. And right now we are heading back down again, potentially, like I said, to like a wave 2. So this wave 2 could bring us to around. Probably down here, the 0.5 or even a little bit lower. So $140, $145 is realistic right now as a target level for the where I would see the support. And yeah, from there, we could then push higher again in a 3rd wave to the upside, which is going to be a pretty impulsive move potentially that we could see in July. So maybe July is going to be a green month for Solami.
Dude. You have to get solami.soul. Like, I don't know if that's a
don't-
thing, but
I don't think that's gonna be possible. Let me
yeah,
check.
it's probably already taken. But
Yeah, marketplace Solana. Yeah, that's already taken for sure. I can probably buy it. Domain taken. Yeah, no, it's gone. It's gone. It is what it is. Too late to the party. It's owned by this chat here. He owns one domain, just Salami, that's all. Bullish. Did I lose Eno right now, guys? My internet is still there, right? Yeah. Okay. I think I lost Eno. So yeah, I guess that's it. That's the Soul Brothers pod for today. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We gave you the whole rundown. Okay, this was a long one today. Live streaming since 1 hour 40 minutes, but yeah, you got the everyone who tuned into the live stream from beginning to the end. That was probably a very interesting one for you guys. Thanks definitely for showing up and tuning in. Like I said before, you can really help us to get a bit more traction on other social media channels, because Soul Brothers are expanding to Instagram, expanding to YouTube. We want to grow out of our Twitter account, but yeah, I need to get some breakfast because yeah, I've been now streaming for 1.5 hours. I came straight from the gym and I haven't eaten anything yet, so I will wrap it up. Thank you everyone for tuning in to Soul Brothers, and we will see you at the next one as well. And if you want to see these live streams, then they are every single Monday normally, if nothing comes up. They are every single Monday at 8 a.m. UTC. Okay, peace out everyone. See you at the next one. Gonna end the stream. Bye.